Hello YouTube, this is Let's Talk Horror and welcome back to another video. Okay guys, so we got some major announcements out of the San Diego Comic-Con Jason Universe panel. And I didn't know if I was going to make a video on this initially, but the announcements were big enough to where I at least have to jump on here and give my thoughts. And, I'm excited to do that because the three big announcements, I would argue there were like three major announcements out of this. And I had a very positive reaction to one, kind of a mixed reaction to another, and a pretty negative reaction to another reveal. So I'm going to jump into all three of those today, and let's get started with my positive reaction. Okay, guys, so the big positive I had from the San Diego Comic-Con Jason Universe convention was actually Sweet Revenge, guys, and that surprises me as much as anybody. I made a video on Sweet Revenge a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend you go check that out. But I was very hard on this reveal. I was very angry because I thought, okay, they're selling us on this short film or this vignette, and I really thought they were gonna have this be just a 30-second, minute, maybe 3 to 5 minute Angry Orchard commercial. They're gonna try and sell that to the fans as the centerpiece of the 45th anniversary. Well, I was wrong, guys, because what we found out about this is Sweet Revenge is going to be 13 minutes long. It's coming out on August 13th, so just a couple of weeks away. Just before we even get into the trailer, Mike Nelson spoke at this panel. He was the writer and director of Sweet Revenge, and it does really seem like he has passion for this franchise. He actually, I guess, got choked up at the panel talking about Friday the 13th, and it really seems like, from what I've seen, that he has real legitimate passion for this franchise. And the trailer looked phenomenal too. Like, it looks like this for a 13-minute short film. It looks like this had a decent budget. The production value is pretty damn good. The lake looked excellent. Oh, when Jason jumped out of the lake, that was maybe my favorite part of the trailer. I still have questions about the mask. I guarantee you there will be a lot of Angry Orchard product placement. This, in some ways, will probably still be a glorified Angry Orchard commercial. But hey, all I wanted to see was have some love and passion and care for the franchise, and it really does seem like they have that. It seems like we're going to get some pretty gnarly kills here for the 13 minutes we're going to get. And it's not the same as like a full feature-length movie, but with what I have seen, if you have not seen the trailer, I recommend that you go check it out. But from what I have seen, guys, I was wrong about this project, and I can officially say I'm pretty damn optimistic about Sweet Revenge. So for me, it was the big positive of the San Diego Comic-Con panel. Okay, guys, but I have to talk about the main thing coming out of the Jason Universe panel that I really had mixed feelings for, and it's actually the announcement that seems to be getting the most attention from fans and from, the media coming out of the panel, which is that a new movie and a new game appear to be in early development. And I'm going to read the quote from Robert Barsamian and just explain why I have mixed feelings towards this and not positive feelings towards this. So I'm going to read from the Bloody Disgusting article, just that quote. I'm not going to read the full article. If you want to read the full article, I'll link it in the description, and then I'll come back and give my thoughts. But okay, the title of the article is New Friday the 13th Film and Video Game in Early Development. And the quote is specifically this, or the quotes are specifically this. I can tell you that a new sequel movie and a new sequel game are at the top of our list. It's where most of our energy's going right now. And I can tell you we're finally in a position to deliver on that. While we're not officially announcing with our partners today, both are coming, they're both in the works, and they're both coming. Look, he does make a bold statement of saying, well, we're finally in a position to deliver on a new movie and a new game. Still, guys, as much as I want to be excited for this, to bring it up, to announce the first Friday the 13th movie in 16 years, to announce the first Friday the 13th movie being in development since the lawsuit, to announce the 13th Friday the 13th movie being in development in such a passing, kind of casual way is disappointing to me. I need to hear more. I need specifics. This was too vague. He said a couple of bold things about being in a position to finally deliver and their top priorities for us. There's still no specifics, and I need that because the truth is, guys, this is not the first time that the quote-unquote new video game has been announced. The first time I remember the new video game announcement happening was Harry Manfredini in 2023. Remember, he gave that interview where he talked about he was doing the music for a new Friday the 13th video game that was supposed to be different from what Gun Media gave us. And that was June of 2023. And here we are in the later half of 2025 now, and we still have not heard a damn thing about, any specific concept for what a new video game would look like. Maybe it's coming, but it feels like at least once a year, maybe every 6 months, they talk about, oh yeah, a new video game is on the way. And yet they haven't delivered it. We still haven't gotten specifics on that yet. I need specifics. And it's the same thing with a new movie. Again, saying we're finally in a position to deliver on that. That's great. That's probably more directed at the movie anyway. It could be coming, but remember when LeBron James was supposed to be executive producing a Friday the 13th movie? That was a rumor out there several years ago. That never happened. I will say this. It explains why Blumhouse and Atomic Monster were invited there. And if I had to guess what studio and what company is going to be handling this, I do think it will be Blumhouse with that tweet and the fact that Blumhouse has just said they want Friday the 13th. But still, I need that official announcement to get truly excited. I need to know officially who is handling this and the creative team behind this before I get excited, because we have been snake bitten with this franchise too many times. Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing to me that they announced it in passing. It's a little bit disappointing to me that they couldn't provide any details and decided not to provide any details. And until they actually do, I'm not going to be fully excited. Now, when they do and when it's officially announced, I will be excited, guys, even if it is Blumhouse. Even if it is Blumhouse. I just want to say that. I know, Blumhouse is a very divisive, and I believe I've said this in other videos before, but they're a very divisive studio. I don't care at this point. I don't care who it goes to. And maybe it's because I did, at the end of the day, enjoy the Halloween trilogy, but I would still be so happy if they announced that Blumhouse is making a Friday the 13th movie. I really would. I would be jumping for joy, man. I'd be very excited, but it is an exciting announcement in some ways. I need more details before I can really be truly excited like a lot of people seem to be. Okay, so the big negative out of the convention for me, guys, was the mask. The Jason Universe mask reveal, the Spirit Halloween mask reveal. And guys, I just want to get this out of the way. I don't hate this mask. I don't think it's an awful mask. I'm not as harsh on the mask as a lot of people seem to be. They just got one thing really wrong that has me really disliking it, and it really affects my view of the mask as a whole, which is the eyes. I really do not like the decision that they made with the eyes. The sunken in look, the square shaped eyes, really wide. It just seems like they're trying way too hard to give this mask like a angry, intimidating look, and I just don't think it works. And you know what it reminds me of, guys? It reminds me of, what do they call it? They call it the Michael Myers alien mask from Halloween H2O. I'll put a picture of it up on your screen, but I think you know what I'm talking about. That mask had a very similar look of like the sunken in eyes, the kind of angry look and expression. It kind of feels like they looked at that and said, okay, this didn't work on Michael Myers, but maybe it'll work on Jason Voorhees. All I can say is good attempt, but it doesn't. It's the same thing. It just feels like it's trying too hard. You know what it does? Very much like the Michael Myers mask in Halloween H2O. It makes it look cartoony. And it makes Jason's hockey mask cartoony. It gives it a very cartoony look. Like, this feels like a Jason Voorhees mask in like an anime. And so that's the one thing I hope they fix, because with the eyes, with as bad as they kind of botched it, even though I don't hate it, I don't think I can ever grow to really love or even like it. Now, of course, it's all going to come down to how it's, lit. Remember, we saw this mask. This mask got revealed, at a convention panel, at a well-lit convention panel. We need to see this mask in the shadows. We need to see this mask, on screen with some, dark mood and atmosphere. Maybe it'll work. But for now, I'm not a huge fan of it, and I don't know if I'll ever grow to truly love or even like it. Okay, guys, so that's going to do it for me today. What do you guys think about the Jason Universe San Diego Comic-Con panel? Do you have the same feelings I have? Do you have a more positive feeling towards the mask? Do you have a more negative feeling towards Sweet Revenge? And which way do you lean on the movie and video game announcement? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Okay, take care.